State Sports Leader. This is WGEM Sports.
It was a jam-packed day for sports in our area. We begin our trip across the Tri-States tonight across the river at Flower City Park. That's where we got our first taste of cross-country action. Let's get right into the action. We're off and running at Palmyra's home cross-country meet. Let's start up with the boys. About halfway through the race, Clark County's Mason McDaniel, he would be the one right out of the gates leading the charge, and right behind him is Noah Wilt from South Shelby. Those two battled it out the whole way, but McDaniel would come around the bend, take home first with a time of 17 minutes 44 seconds, and Wilt would finish not too far behind with a time of 18 minutes 15 seconds for second place. South Shelby boys would win the team meet with an average time of 19 minutes 46 seconds. The girls were also in action at Flower City Park. Plenty of local teams off and running off the opening gun. About halfway through this race, Winfield's Phelan Davidson leading the pack, with Monroe City's Brandy Keller nipping at her heels. Davidson would win the race across home, but Keller would take home second place honors with a time of 22 minutes 18 seconds. Following her from Paris was Mary Ann Kinnaman and Alexandra Tolius in third and fourth respectively. Monroe City girls won the team meet with an average time of 24 minutes and 5 seconds. Just